Here we go with the Thursday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on September the 24th. We're going to take a kind of a deep dive into the next several days. There's finally some interesting things to talk about. This weather pattern, of course, has been rather boring for a couple of months, really. We've had some hot days, of course, and a couple of days where some thunderstorms got feisty, but for the most part, since mid-July, it's been a bit of a snoozer. I'm looking forward to some more interesting weather as we go into fall and into winter. But other than my complaints about it being a little bit boring, boy, has the weather been nice. We had another Chamber of Commerce day today with bright sunshine and temperatures in the upper 70s. Here's the infrared satellite this evening. Just as the sun is setting in the southern sky, there are some thin cirrus clouds pushing in, making for a pretty nice sunset earlier on this evening at about quarter after 7. Looking off to the west, some clouds associated with the front. These will not be any sort of an issue for us. The system down in the southeast will, though. Let me take off the satellite. Show you the radar. Things are getting active down here across the Carolinas and Georgia. I've been talking about this all week, how this system is going to bring some lousy beach weather to not only North and South Carolina, but parts of Georgia and Virginia as well. This will impact our weather, though, as we go into the weekend, because this moisture is going to very gradually shift off to the north and start to get funneled a little bit west of the Appalachian Mountains. So let me bring up the latest. Let's show you the NAM first. I'm going to show you a couple of different models here. Here's the NAM. I'm going to skip ahead to Saturday morning. I think tomorrow for the Friday night football, we should be in pretty good shape. It'll be partly cloudy. It'll be very comfortable as well. As we go into Saturday, let's start with Saturday morning. The moisture getting about as far north as the Mason-Dixon line, or southern Ohio at least, as far as the rain goes. But I do think that there will be a shield of clouds that gets up to about I-80 or even I-90. Now, they'll be thinner the farther north you are. So Saturday is going to be one of those days where you can probably make out the sun. If you look at the clouds, there'll be a sun shape up there is what I'm trying to spit out. But it'll be kind of a dim sun kind of a day with a lot of high and even medium level clouds. Clouds that are up at about 30,000 or 20,000 feet. Not the real low clouds, but a lot of high clouds on Saturday. But nonetheless, a dry day. Now, we have thrown in for Sunday the chance of some rain. Here's why. Well, here's a look at the NAM model suggesting, if this were to be exactly right, it would just rain for several hours Sunday morning and up into the maybe the midday hours on Sunday. This is the NAM. Switch over to the GFS. It is not quite as pessimistic as the NAM, that's for sure, with it keeping most of the moisture to our south Sunday morning and into the early afternoon, most of it south and east. The European model is similar to the NAM, and that's why I threw in the chance for rain. When the NAM and the European are singing the same tune, that definitely gets my attention, because when they're in alliance, that usually means, it's going to work out that way. So I am concerned we're going to see at least a few hours of rain Sunday, especially in the morning hours. The big question for us for the eclipse Sunday evening is, will the weather cooperate? And this remains a bit of a tough forecast. Let's show you this is the GFS cloud cover forecast here. For the weekend, here's Sunday morning showing a pretty thick overcast across the region. The GFS would suggest that the clouds try to thin some Sunday evening, but it's not looking real optimistic. And this is the GFS, which doesn't have as much rain, in fact, almost no rain. The NAM and the European actually have some rain, which means that they definitely have the clouds. So not real thrilled with the trends here as far as eclipse viewing Sunday evening, but still, read all about the eclipse, and hopefully if the clouds cooperate, you can see it on my weather blog, ericwfmj.com. I did a video last night. You can check that out on the blog and also on my Facebook and Twitter feeds. Go back and look as far as what to expect with the eclipse coming up Sunday evening. All right, let's skip ahead to next week then. Again, a few interesting things to talk about here. I think Monday, that was Sunday, this is Monday. I think Monday's still going to be a pretty cloudy day. This low is pushing away, going up the East Coast, so a damp day in New York City on Monday. I think there'll be some clouds that kind of linger into Monday, so it's going to be kind of a cloudy day. I think we will see more in the way of sunshine on Tuesday, and then the next weather maker's approaching from the north and west. This is our next cold front, right in through here on Tuesday. The timing on the models is still a little bit up in the air. European and GFS are having a little fight about the timing, but I'm kind of honing in on Tuesday night and Wednesday as a chance for some showers. Our front shown on the GFS here is just pushing through Wednesday morning. So we're not looking at a lot of rain, but that's our next chance of showers after Sunday. And then it looks like there will be a shot of cool air. In fact, let me back up here. Look at the snow up in eastern Canada. That's not coming here, but chilly air mass coming down for sure during the second half of next week. Well, how long is that going to stick around? I don't think it sticks around long. Here's the 16-day temperature trend on the GFS ensemble, showing our warm up early in the week after a cool down Sunday, and then that cool shot lasts a couple of days. And then after that, there are some cool days shown here, but I'm not sure if I buy this yet. Maybe. But I really do think that October as a whole is still going to be a warmer than average month, much like September will be. I think we're in for a warmer than average fall. That means that there will be plenty of warm days, but it also means that, of course, there's going to be chilly days. Of course, as we go deeper into fall, we're going to have frosts and freezes and that sort of thing. But, when we say it's going to be a mild fall, it just means as a whole, against the average, it will be mild. There will be plenty of chilly days, though, I can promise that. All right, I can promise you that we will keep you updated on the weekend forecast over the next couple of days. I look forward to seeing you tonight on 21 News at 11. And if you're an early riser, be sure and check out Jess's Friday forecast tomorrow morning on WFMJ today, starting at 7 a.m. Have a great night.